Hello, this is Victor and I want to do a review on the Hemonculus Coven, that is a supplement for the Dark Elder book that it have been released some time ago, but I didn't have time to do the review on it, so I decided that it's a good time now to review the Hemonculus Covens and what they can offer to your Dark Elder army. So first of all, I have to say that Hemonculus Coven is a book that is designed to work together with the Dark Elder book. Okay, so you need the Dark Elder book and then the Hemonculus Coven as a supplement, and it's modifying some of the rules. It's changing the rules, and it's giving about 6 different new formations plus a new different organization chart that will cover this. So in this review I will cover the new rules, what they give to your army, and then I will also talk about the different formations that we can find in that book. So let's start. The first rule that we see that is changing is the power from pain. So now the power from pain, it's starting 1 is known, then we have fearless, fear and fearless. Fear, fearless, it will not die. Fear, it will not die. Zealot, eternal warrior. Fear, it will not die. Zealot. What I see here is the fearless is quite useful because most of the Coven's units have very low leadership. So giving them fearless, it's making them much more reliable. If you take into account in the original table, fearless is get quite late in the table. If I'm not wrong, I'm checking now. Fearless is almost the last thing that you get is in the 5th turn, while in this Covens is the first thing that you receive. And if you check now the units that you have for the Covens, you will see that they have quite low leadership. So giving them fearless, for example, the grotesque have leadership 4, the rocks have, it's mainly for the grotesque that is giving a good boost. For the rest of the units it's not a big boost. The Talos and the Chronos have fearless as well because they are monstrous creatures. And then if we look the Hemonculus, I think it's also quite reliable. But I think it's very important to have this for the racks, for the grotesque, because then they can operate independently. So the next one is they cause fear. I think this is today fear is a rule that is almost not used in 40k. Almost everything, or it's fearless or have something to protect from the fear. It will not die is a very nice addition. It's great because you will have a lot of units that have multiple wounds, starting from the Hemonculus. The grotesque also have multiple wounds, and the Talos and the Chronos have multiple wounds, so it's a very nice addition. Zealot in a unit that is in an army that will be oriented to close combat is giving a nice boost. An Eternal Warrior, it's especially important for the Hemonculus and the Grotesque, although there are not a lot of weapons of strength 10, and also for the Talos and Chronos to be immune to the instant death special rule. So I think the table is quite good. Starting with fearless is helping a lot the units of grotesques, and then it will not die will help a lot the multiple wounds units. So the next rows that then we see that they have a different warlord trait table if you use it in the Covens as a main army. So the first is that your warlord trait and any grotesque model unit in his part have it will not die special rule, so it's quite a nice one. The second is that your warlord and the grotesque. Sorry, the first one was all friendly Talos and Chronos models within 12 inches of the warlord have reroll feel no pain, so this is a nice boost. Especially this will combine very well with some of the formations that we have later. Then it will not die is the second one, also nice boost, especially for the grotesque, making them much more resilient. The third one is as long as your warlord is alive, you can add or subtract 1 to reserve rolls. This I think it's very good because in Dark Elder we are want to use the shadow, the web portal, and then being able to manipulate the reserves is a very nice addition. The fourth is if your warlord was slain. Okay, this is your warlord is slain with a weapon that causes instant death, AP1 or AP2. It gives these 3 victory points. So it's I don't think it's great, but if your warlord is dead with one, maybe you will at least draw your enemy will not get advantage by slaying the warlord. That is, it's not bad. The fifth is your warlord and any rank models in a unit is part have Film of Pain on 4+. It's a nice one as well. And your warlord has the preferred enemy special rule. It's also a good one. I think all the warlord traits here are pretty good. The point is they are random, so unless you're using some of the formations, these warlord traits are random. So meaning that you have to plan for that, and maybe they are situational. So if you are not using rags, for example, the last one is not giving an advantage. I think these warlord traits are more oriented if you use one of the formations as your main detachment. Okay. So if we keep looking at the rules, then we have the different relics. I have not seen anything that is super awesome on the relics. Well, there is like a grenade that is strength 1, AP2 and cause instant death. This can be good, but it's a strength 1, so you will need normally 6s to kill something. Then there are some I will not go into detail in the different. I think the only one that I like it a little bit is the one called the Panacea Perverted. It's 20 points, and the bearer of the Panacea has it will not die and passes it will not die rolls is at 4+, and furthermore attacks with the poisoned special rule and so only is wounded with only with 6s if he's hit with a poison blow. Then there is another one that the bearer is the Nightmare Doll that it gives +1 to the table and is add to the other things that we have. But I don't think it's there. I'm not amazed with the objects. I don't think there is any auto include relic. And then we go to the formation, to the detachment table. Another detachment table for the covens is mandatory 2 HQs and 2 elites, and then optional 4 HQs, additional 4 HQs, 6 elites additionally, and 4 heavy support. But you have to take into account that you only can take Hemonculus or Urien, Riders, Venom as a transport, Rags, Gotex, and Talus and Kronos. So you only can take these units. So you are very limited in the choices from the Dark Elder. And I think, and then if you use this formation, or this detachment, sorry, then you can roll on the Warlord trait, and all enemy within 12 inches of the detachment unit will suffer -1 to the leadership. Again, reducing the leadership of your enemy. Today, I have the feeling today in 40k, the leadership is not the most important thing to tweak. Depend a lot if you play against, it's more reliable if you play against Imperial Guard, or we call Astro Militarum or something, but if you play against Marines that they will know, or Fearless Chaos Space Marines or something like that, yeah, all these things that you reducing the leadership of the enemy normally is not doing a lot of difference. And then we go into the formations. Sorry, before the formations we have no, we go into the formations, and then if we go into the formations, the first one is called the Grotesquerie. Have to be composed by Urien or Hemonculus and 2 units of Grotesques. Okay, and then they give the -1. Oh, I think all the formations give the -1 to leadership at any unit that is at 12 inches from any of the units from this formation. So all have this freakish spectacle. And then you will have additional boost on your Grotesque, and then you throw in a table that is here and then the table, if you have a 1, is +1 to strength, +1 to toughness, fleet, Threat, Rage, or Feel No Pain 4+. So it's making harder grotesque. Grotesque I think is a good unit if you can give them Fearless, and if you put the Hemonculus in one of them, it's going to be a hard unit. I think you can put one of them with if you're using this as a formation that you can put them together with your army, you should put one character in one of the Gotex unit, and then the Hemonculus with the other Gotex unit, and Deep Strike with the Webway Portal next to the enemies. So having a boost Gotex have to be quite nasty for your enemies. The next formation we have here is called it's called Scarlet Epicureans. It's composed by one Hemonculus, Kronos, and 2 units of Rags. All again have the Freakish spectacle. Then they have the Macabre Collectors, all units of Rags from this formation that are within 12 inches of the Hemonculus of this formation as well. Have the Precision Strike special rule, and then the units of Rags in this formation treat the current turn as being one higher in actually, so they are considered to be in one turn higher than for the Feel No Pain, for the Power from Pain table. And furthermore, if this formation Hemonculus in your army is so if the Warlord is from this formation, then the Warlord trait that you have is the Master Epicurean Warlord trait, that is the one that is boosting the Rags. The next one is the Scalpel Squadron. The Scalpel Squadron is formed by 2 Rags and 2 Venoms, and the Venoms have to be the transport of the Rags, so you only can have units of 5 Rags. They have again the Freakish Spectacle, -1 to the leadership at 12 inches. The first pickings, if a unit from this formation completes the first blood secondary objective, the controlling player scores 3 victory points instead of the usual one. And then the Surgical Excision, all the Rag. So this one for me it's a nonsense formation. So you have 2 Rags that you have to deploy in reserve because it's calling by the Surgical Excision, and you receive extra points if you do first blood with that unit. But you will not wait to the second turn to do the first blood, even less to the third turn to do the first blood, because your enemy will do it faster than you then. So the special rules are not giving anything to this unit, so you will never have the victory points. I think it's quite a useless formation, this one, unless you want to use Rags on Venoms, but I think a close combat unit of 5, it's normally it's not my favorite one. If we review from the previous ones, I think the Gotex ones was quite good. Boosting your Gotex for free is good. The unit with the Kronos and the 2 Rags, well, the Rags working on the battlefield are not that good, but you can use them to secure objectives, also to capture objectives, so it's not that bad neither. But this one, it makes no sense to have Rags on Venoms and they have to deploy, they have to be in reserve, and then they arrive automatically in the controlling. It arrives from the first turn. Maybe, yeah, it arrives from the first turn, it's not that bad, but it's a close combat, so you will not be able to solve. Maybe you are lucky if you. I don't think you are going to score the first blood with the Rags in shooting. I don't think they are that good in shooting to do that. The next formation is quite strange for me. It's called the Corpse Thief Claw. It's a unit of Talos, and it's composed by 5 Talos, and it's telling here that you are allowed to put 5 Talos in that unit. Although in the rules here in the it's not allowed. And then let the harvest begin. Each time a unit from this formation, so the unit of Talos, completely destroys an enemy non-vehicle unit in close combat, the controlling player scores 1 victory point. But let's take a look. So 5 Talos is 120, so this means 600 points on Talos if you don't put any additional equipment. So yeah, and how many people will have 5 Talos on the battlefield? depends. It's not bad, it's not good. You will have some extra points, but Talos are not that fast to arrive in close combat. They will normally arrive at turn 3 unless you're fighting Tyranny, something that is coming to you. This is one of my favorite ones. I think I will look for a Chronos in future to be able to deploy this formation. One Hemonculus, one Talos, one Chronos. It's called Dark Artisan. I think it's one of the best formations here. It's composed by one Hemonculus, one Talos, one Chronos, and have of course the freakish spectacle. Follow me, my children, so it means that you can make a unit composed by Hemonculus, Talos, and Chronos, although it's not according to the rules, but it says that you can. So all units in this formation must be filled as a single unit, even though this is not normal at all. Models with independent character special rule cannot join. So it's this unit and nobody can join this unit. And this formation of Talos and Chronos add 1 to the weapon skill and initiative characteristics. So you're boosting the weapon skill of your Chronos and Talos. This means that they will have, the Talos will have weapon skill 6 and initiative 5, and the Chronos weapon skill 4 and initiative 5 as well. So they're going to be pretty fast and dangerous in close combat. Here I will use this with a web portal for the Hemonculus and maybe an Agonizer to make the Hemonculus close combat and launch them as soon as possible in close combat with the enemy, making a big problems at the back. I will not use any, maybe a special equipment, it's 100, 120, and maybe, so we are talking about 400 points in with everything most likely, or 300 points depending how you equip the 300 something points depending how you equip the Hemonculus. The Hemonculus is 70 points, so yeah, the base is 290 plus equipment. You will go easily to 320, 330 points. And then we have the Covenant Flesh Corps. This is composed by one Hemonculus and 3 units of rags on riders each. So the special rules of the Covenant Flesh Corps are the freakish spectacle as always, and then as long as the formation of Hemonculus is alive, his Master of Pain rule affects all units of rags in this formation within 12 inches. So you increase the range of the Master of Pain special rule from the Hemonculus, and furthermore, if this formation is your army warlord, do not roll to determine his warlord trait. He automatically has the Apotheosis warlord trait, that I think is the one that is giving, if I'm not wrong, is the one that is for the wraiths. It's the one for the rags. So yeah, it's the one that you warlord and any rag model his part have feel no pain on 4+. So these are, and then the last one. Let me just adjust this thing a little bit. The last one is composed by all the previous, so it's a big formation, a lot of points, and it's composed by all the previous formations. So it's a formation that is composed by the Grotesquerie, the Scarlet Epicureans, the Scalpel Squadron, the Corpse-Side Claw, the Dark Artisan, and the Covenant Flesh Corps. So all the previous ones. And then the special role is that the Lord of Pain, as long as Urien Rakkar or the Hemonculus of the Grotesquerie formation is alive, his father, Master of Pain special rule affects to all, so it's affecting to all non-vehicle in this formation. So it's a very nice, it's a very good one. And then the Tortures are all non-vehicle models from the Carnival of Pain, reroll failure to wound rolls of 1 in close combat, so making them even more stronger. So imagine with the Grotesque and the Talos that they normally wound on 2+, you don't need to pay this red, the equipment to give this red, they have it by by default, and the other ones will repeat the one. So it's a very good one, but it's a big formation, because we are talking here, I guess it's around 2000 points in Dark Elder, and everything is going to be grotesque, rags, Hemonculus and Talos and Chronos, so it's mainly oriented to close combat. So this is all the formations we have. I think for me the most interesting one is the Dark Artisan, the one that is composed by the Talos, the Chronos and the Hemonculus. The Grotesque is also quite interesting. I'm not a big fan of the rags, and I don't have a lot of rags, and I don't have Grotesque in my army, so I think I will start investing a little bit more on the Hemonculus Coven type of units in future. But at this moment I'm more a Cavalid. I'm working more with the Cavalid warriors, the how it's called, the Ravagers, and now with the jet fight, the Razor Wing jet fighter. So I'm more on vehicles and try to move fast. I never been a big fan of this type of units, but seeing this Coven book looks quite interesting for future. The next thing that we have in that book are the Altar of War missions, and there are a lot of missions for the Altar of War. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missions. I will not go into them. I think all these missions are normally nice for friendly games. If you enjoy to play differently and you have a lot of games, I encourage you to use some of these missions. Normally they give a different flavor. Sometimes they only twist some of the rules, and this is give a very different missions. So that's all. So a lot of some formations for the Dark Elder, main focus on the Grotesque, Rags, Talos, Chronos and the Hemonculus. I think some of them are quite interesting, and I see more. I will not use them as a main force. I will use them to support a Dark Elder army. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye!